didn't know what they were or what they'd done, I will tell you. They were the people that devoted their free time to look for aircraft in the Second World War. If they saw a plane flying, they picked up the phone and recorded it. And these are the names of the people that done that on their own free time. Rosalie Acosta, Jewel Banks Almos, Robert Ardea, Juliana Kalak, Macadio Kalak, Madalena Castillo, Dorothy Majado Garcia, Angelita Jackson, Irma Jackson, Dominga Kirkland, Rosinda Nolascus, Mary Nejo, Nick Pena, Ramona Scott, Felipa Viveras. And now I'm going to read the list of all our sleeping warriors. Gabriel Aliala, U.S. Air Force. Eddie Bahi, U.S. Army. Joseph Blacktooth, World War II prisoner, and we are proud of him. He was in the Bataan Death March. Gerald Boisclair, Sr., U.S. Coast Guard. Joseph Britton, Seabees, U.S. Navy. Maurice Britton, U.S. Navy, World War II. Clifford Britton, U.S. Army. Elizabeth Jackson Britton, U.S. Army. Sepharina Britton, U.S. Navy. Leo Kalak, U.S. Navy, World War II. Virgil Kagi, U.S. Marines, Vietnam. Gennaro Castillo, U.S. Army. Tom Chavez, U.S. Navy. Silveria Chavez, U.S. Army. I believe both of those boys were in the Normandy invasion too. Harvey Chutnicott, U.S. Army. Ralph Chutnicott, U.S. Army. Faustino Chutnicott was a prisoner of war in the Second World War and the Korean War both. Johnny Dean, 1st Cavalry, U.S. Army. Sylvester Diaz, U.S. Army, World War II. George M. Leo, U.S. Army, Vietnam. Jerome Garcia, U.S. Air Force, Korea. Joseph Garcia, U.S. Air Force, World War II and Korea. Sylvester Garcia, U.S. Navy, World War II and Korea. Lawrence Gulch, U.S. Army. Andrew Goodwin, U.S. Navy. Charles Freeman Sr., U.S. Army, World War II. Philip Freeman, U.S. Army, World War II. Robert Freeman, U.S. Navy, World War II and Korea. He was a survivor of Pearl Harbor, and his nickname was Dopey. Many of you probably know him, remember him. Lewis Hilton, U.S. Army, World War II. Joe Harado. Ross Jackson, U.S. Army, Korea. Patrick Jackson, U.S. Air Force, Korea. Samuel Cole, U.S. Army, World War II. John Lechusta. Joe Lancaster, U.S. Navy, World War I. Wow. Roy Lattin Sr., U.S. Marine Corps, World War II. I believe Roy Lattin was in the Battle of Guadalcanal, if I can remember correctly what he told me. Dwayne M. Lovato, U.S. Army, Vietnam. Robert Lovato, Sr., U.S. Navy. Nemesio Conrad Lugo, World War II. Eugene Peanuts McGee, nickname Peanuts, U.S. Army. He was in Korea. Frank Harvey Mitchell, U.S. Army, World War I. George Machado, U.S. Army.